Hey, I'm Rob Feulner. I'm a video artist and filmmaker from Montreal, and I'm in the VHS closet. So I'm gonna grab some movies and talk about them. Let's start with I had an eye on one, and that is Copland. So this movie, I only saw it for the first time a few years ago, and it really took me by surprise. I think Sylvester Stallone is great. He's so good when he's playing like a sad sack, and it's weird that he had this career as like an action star, but like most of his movies, he's just kind of this like pathetic little guy, this pathetic massive guy. But like Rocky's like that. Even the first Rambo, he's just kind of like sullenly walking through a town, and then he's just dejected like by the town, and he takes his revenge. Copland, kind of the same deal in which he's just sort of like a broken down, I think cop. It's been a few years since I've seen it. Corrupt town, full of cops. So it's got the ACAB going for it, but most importantly, it has like every Sopranos cast member. So it's just like if you like guy spotting, if you like saying like, oh, it's that guy from that thing, and you know the Sopranos even a little bit, or you've seen The Sopranos like four times through, like I have, you're gonna love it. You see Paulie at one point in like a photograph. Like he's not even like it's not a walk on or something. It's just a black and white like newspaper photo. And like, oh fuck, that's Paulie. So that's one of my picks. Oh, I saw one up there. I'm gonna have to get the ladder for this one. April Fool's Day. My understanding is that horror aficionados of the time were unhappy with this movie because it's kind of has a cop out ending. It's like a very soft slasher. But what it does have is a lot of chemistry between the actors, particularly, I'm blanking on his name, but the guy who plays Biff in Back to the Future and the coach in Freaks and Geeks. He is so fucking funny in this movie. There's like a type of dialogue I really like that you get from like Dr. Katz, the Larry Sanders Show, and like old country crock butter commercials that like are just I don't know. They put me at ease. There's a little ASMR quality to this horror movie. So that's a good one. And what a cover. Like isn't this like the most striking like the noose hairstyle? And you kind of have this like little party vibe in the back, including Biff. I love it. I feel like I should grab a Cronenberg. I feel like I should grab a Michael Mann. I think I'm gonna grab Demi. So this is in part because I haven't spotted Manhunter. I mean, this seems like a library that would have Manhunter. I'm getting the signal that there's two copies of Manhunter, but I just can't find it right now. Might be in here. But Silence of the Lambs is like what I would consider my second favorite of the Lecter series, but I think it's the one I've watched the most because the past like 5 or 6 years, I've been doing annual watches of it. Just the trajectory of this poor like senator's daughter who starts off listening to what is it? It's like a Tom Petty song, American Girl. She's listening to American Girl in her van. She's having a good time, and by the end of the movie, she has to listen to Hip Priest by The Fall. It's like such a plummet of despair. Beautiful cinematography, incredible film stock. This like very 90s like overproduction 35 millimeter style that like you just I think it might be the film stock that's used on Candyman and of all things Child's Play. It just looks very similar. It's just a gorgeous movie. It's also so compelling. It just like you're grabbed by it. If you start in the middle, you're seeing it to the end. If you start from the start, you're seeing it to the end. It's a perfect movie. I'm gonna put the ladder away. Synthetic Pleasures. This is my weird choice. You know, I wouldn't say this is good or worth watching. I don't recommend it to anybody, but it has a special place in my heart because when I first started doing VHS editing and video glitching and stuff like that, this is one of the tapes I found probably at like a Renaissance or something, and it just has some like 3D lawnmower man ass like animation promised in the back, and it's just kind of like a cybernetics, almost like PBS Nova documentary style movie. I used it a lot for found footage. I would use it for live shows. I had like video glitch, analog video glitch workshops, video art workshops. Eventually, somebody just like took the tape with them, so that's gone. But maybe it's this copy. I don't know. I'm sure I'll find it again, but I'm also kind of at the point where I don't need it anymore. I can move on from it. I've used it to death, but I really appreciate the time that I had with it. So if you're looking for VHS footage to use that's very early 90s, 3D Lawnmower Man reboot, shitty Residence videos kind of style, there's a good one. Structurally sound. That's good. Broadcast news. This is one of the lighter movies, I think, of the pile. It's my favorite. It just hits me so deep. There's just so much love between these characters, even the shitheads in it. I don't know. I like a movie that has a lot of compassion. I think Broadcast News has it. It also has the ability to like its own characters. And I think Silence of the Lambs is the same way that Jonathan Demme has a lot of empathy for Buffalo Bill, even if Buffalo Bill is a serial killer. He's still like a tortured man with a tortured person with like a horrible backstory. And while Broadcast News is nothing like that, I think it has a lot of empathy and love to give. Also, just in the background, you're just going to see television sets glowing the whole way through. You're going to see a lot of little color bars. I think the setting of like a television news station is just kind of like, what's the perfect setting for Rob? Here it is. And you have like a nice miserable romance. I like 80s romantic comedies because they end with a tinge of misery. It's never a fully happy ending. Even at its best, there's the idea that like this is maybe fleeting. This love is going to run out. Things run dry. I like Broadcast News a lot. And those are my 5 picks. Here they are.